Hey, it's time again for another exciting edition of ACP. Today's informative subject material is standardized testing. Hopefully, by the end of today's lesson, you will have a better idea of what these tests are, why we take them, and how to prepare yourself to do your best. What these tests do is allow for comparisons to be made among schools in regards to student achievement. They ensure accountability for teachers, and they have the ability to inform instruction for educators. Standardized tests allow for a reliable measurement of student success that isn't influenced by local factors. It is a system that looks at every child through equal eyes. Because standardized tests are graded by computers, they are not as subject to human bias and subjectivity, which makes them a more accurate reflection of student success. Standardized testing covers core subject materials that students need for success in other subject areas. Without reading, for example, it would be difficult to learn how to write properly. Without mathematics, it would be difficult to pursue scientific concepts. The goal of a standardized test is to cover core subject materials that will help students excel in other related subjects, giving them the chance to master core curriculum items so they can move on to correlating subjects with greater ease. There are many standardized tests that will be available to you while you are here at Lincoln, but we are going to focus on the one you are required to take. We will be covering this test and gaining an understanding of the Wisconsin Student Assessment Systems. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction entered into a partnership with ACT during the 2014-15 fiscal year to comprehensively assess Wisconsin high school students. So this won't be our first rodeo. 9th and 10th grade students will be taking the ACT Aspire Early High School Assessment, which of course assesses students' readiness in English, mathematics, reading, science, and writing. The ACT Aspire incorporates multiple question types, including constructed response, selected response, and technology-enhanced items to better assess student knowledge and provide more meaningful insight. Before taking the actual test, a student sandbox will be provided so students can have an opportunity to become familiar not only with the ACT Aspire test, but the questions and also how to navigate the TestNav test platform. The student sandbox will present at least one test question for each reporting category for a given test. On a side note, sorry kids, the student sandbox should be accessed with a desktop or laptop computer rather than a tablet or your smartphone. The ACT Aspire has also developed a booklet for each grade and subject that defines ACT Aspire reporting categories for each test. These booklets also present at least one test question aligned to each of the reporting categories on a given test. Depth of knowledge level, or DOK, is a description of the task presented by the test question. A description of the correct response is also provided, along with improvement idea statements to help students build on their current level of skill and knowledge. So, how do you prepare for this kind of test, you might ask? Well, number one, be prepared. There is no substitute for preparation. As you just learned, you will have an opportunity to practice the formatting and at least one question in every area being tested. Knowing what is going to be on the test and how it is going to be presented to you is paramount to saving you time and reducing some anxiety. Number 2, always arrive early on test day and take a moment to relax. You'll increase your confidence if you take time to relax. You will be able to narrow your focus for the upcoming test. Arriving early may allow you time to ask any last-minute questions of instructor or to listen to an explanation being provided to another student. Also relating to time, tip number 3, plan how you will use the allotted time. Estimate how much time you'll have for each section of the test and each question. Allow enough time for more difficult sections. Pace yourself so you can complete the test in the allotted time frame. Complete the question you know first, then come back and tackle the problems you are not sure about after. Please, for the love of Thor's hammer, tip number 4, answer all the questions. Even if you're running out of time and can't answer all of the questions fully, it's still important to answer all of the questions. There are no penalties for guessing, but you can't get it right if you don't answer it. The first answer that pops into your mind is usually the correct answer. Don't change answers unless you are sure the answer you've chosen is wrong. Tip number 5, maintain a positive attitude. Don't lose confidence or waste time if you encounter confusing or difficult questions. Answer the questions you know first. Circle or mark questions you are unsure of and come back later to answer them. Using the allotted time to answer the most questions you can right will allow you to go back and get some, if not all, of the questions you may have struggled with. You will feel better as you answer more questions, and staying relaxed will help you tackle all of the questions. Tip 6, prepare the night before. Preparing certain things the night before an exam can help distress and slow down your morning to allow yourself to wake up and get ready with ease and peace of mind. Things to prepare the night before should be, first and foremost, your materials. Sharpen your 4 to 6 wooden number 2 pencils. Have them ready to go with your calculator and spare batteries. That way you know that you have them, you know where they are, and you know that they are ready. Also, allow yourself to get enough sleep, which is probably more than usually. Keep in mind that if you are generally running late in the morning, set your alarm or alarms for a few minutes earlier to allow yourself that extra buffer of time so that you're not feeling rushed. Go to bed full and hydrated. Number 7, wear appropriate attire. When getting dressed, think of the testing room and environment over the weather. Make sure to layer your clothing so that you can remove layers during the test if you begin to feel hot. Keeping your body comfortable helps to minimize distractions and external effects on your abilities while taking the test. Tip number 8, eat a smart breakfast. Even if you're not a breakfast person, eating breakfast is essential before a long test. After all, this isn't just another day at school. Your breakfast should include necessary vitamins as well as keep you energized and full. While cereal can be a great source of calcium and fiber, depending on what cereal you eat, you probably won't be kept full for very long. Bagels are a great way to keep yourself full, and spreading peanut butter on them instead of butter or cream cheese makes them a lighter choice with more energizing nutrients. Hunger is just another distraction that you don't need. In addition, you want to avoid these foods along with greasy and sugary foods in order to help prevent any stomach upsets. It's the same concept as an athlete eating safe foods before an event. You want your body to be in its best state. Tip 9. Bring effective snacks. As you'll have breaks in which you're allowed to eat a snack and get a drink of water. Take advantage of these opportunities as they are ways to refresh your body and mind and give them a second wind, so to speak. Bring a bottle of water that you can refill because staying hydrated is the first step in keeping your body happy and healthy. For snacks, bring things such as an apple, orange, grapes, a granola bar so that you can eat them quickly and they give you immediate energy. In addition to snacks, bring some mints or gum. You can eat these during the test periods and they both help to keep you awake, alert, and focused because your body is physically performing an action rather than simply sitting there and reading. You can find out more about ACT exams and how to improve your scores here at this tiny URL. Please take a moment on your Chromebooks and visit this tiny URL on your screen. Oh, and the first student to correctly find out the color of the earbuds on the Aspire Exemplar Items webpage and find me will receive a world's finest prize. Along with the DPI and ACT website, you can find information on standardized testing on the Lincoln High School Counseling Department webpage. You will find information on the PSAT, SAT, Accuplacer, and ASVAB. The PSAT stands for the Preliminary Scholastic Aptitude Test. It is a great primer for the SAT and even the ACT, but it's more than just a trial run. The PSAT scores are used to identify national merit scholars and award merit scholarships. More than 3.4 million high school students, mostly juniors and sophomores, take this nationwide multiple choice test every year. You can find out more at the links on the counseling webpage. Look for a sign up for their next year's test later this spring. The Accuplacer test is a comprehensive web-based assessment tool used to determine your skills in reading, writing, and math. It is untimed, but most students complete it in less than 90 minutes. The test is adaptive, which means the questions get more difficult as you give more right answers. Many of the Wisconsin technical colleges use the scores as admission guidelines to specific programs at their campuses. Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, also known as the ASVAB, is the most widely used multiple aptitude test battery in the world. As an aptitude test, the ASVAB measures your strengths, weaknesses, and potential for future success. The ASVAB has 10 tests. Your scores from 4 of these tests, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, arithmetic and reasoning, mathematic knowledge, are combined to compute your score on what is referred to as the Armed Forces Qualification Test, or AFQT. Your score is good for 2 years for all branches of the military. Students who are interested in the military will look to take this test in their junior or senior year. But you will find free practice material to prepare you to do your best. This has been a Lincoln High School ACP production. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.